Coming to the UK has become extremely difficult for most people, and day in and day out, people are looking for different ways or different routes to come into the UK to live a better life. I've come across one of the easiest way for you to migrate to the UK and even come with your dependents. If this is what you love to hear today, kindly watch the video to the end. Hey lovely, my name is Shari, and on this channel I talk about nursing, lifestyle in the UK, coming to the UK and everything in between. So if these are content you love to see, kindly hit the subscribe button and join the awesome family. So today we are talking about a visa type, which is the charity worker visa. So a charity worker visa is a type of visa that allows you to come into the UK and do a voluntary work for a period of time, and it also allows you to come with your dependent if they're eligible. So I'll tell you all about it, give you a list of licensed employers that are currently employing. But before we go to that, let's look at the eligibility criteria. First and foremost, which is the most important one, you are supposed to get a certificate of sponsorship known as the COS from your employer. That shows that you are going to be sponsored. And secondly, you have to prove that you have enough money to cater for yourself when you come into the UK for that duration, which is at least £1,270. You should be 18 years or older. You should have a passport, obviously. And if you are coming in with your dependents, you should be able to prove your relationship with them. So I'm going to go into details about all of this in a bit. So now let's look at how long this visa will allow you to stay in the UK. So you can stay in the UK up to 12 months or up to the duration specified on your COS. However, you can extend the duration of this visa before your visa expires. And the good thing about this visa is that when you come with your dependents, because they are going to be on a dependent visa, they can work as many hours as they can and in any field at all. And I feel like this visa pathway is a good one, because if your dependents would get a skilled worker visa or get a work that gives him or her a certificate of sponsorship, you can then become a dependent and then you can live in the UK. And also when you apply for this particular visa, it just takes 3 weeks for them to approve your visa, which is really good. Now let's look at the application fee. So the application fee for this visa is £298, and if you are coming with your family, they would have to pay theirs separately as well. So now talking about whether your dependents are going to be eligible or not, we are going to read this from the gov.uk website. So your dependents can be your husband, your wife, your civil partner, or your married partner, and your child should be under 18 years, including if they are born to you in the UK, or your child over 18 years if they are currently in the UK as your dependents. Now to the partner, you should be in a civil partnership or married that is recognized in the UK. So if you have a marriage certificate or you went to court and you did all those court stuff, you should have all of them in hand. And if you are in a relationship, then you should be living together in the relationship for at least 2 years as at the time of your application. And if you're in a relationship and your culture does not allow you to stay together, or due to living in different locations, you are supposed to prove your relationship by your constant communication, if you've supported each other financially, or if you've got a child together. Now let's look at how your children are going to be eligible. Your child would only be eligible if they stay with you, or unless they are away due to living in a boarding house or schooling in a different region, and they shouldn't be married or in any civil partnership. Now let's look at the amount of money you are supposed to have for both your dependents and your child. For your partner, you should have £285, and for your child, £315. But if you've got more than one child, then for every additional child, you should have £200. So there are certain things you can and cannot do on this visa. So on this visa, you can study, but however, for certain courses, you will be needing academic technology approval scheme certificate, and you should work for your sponsor. That is why you are here. And you can also work a second job at the same sector and at the same level as your main job, up to 20 hours in addition to whatever you are doing already. And also you can bring in your partner and your children who are your dependents. What you cannot do is receive any payments for this work. However, some people give stipends to sustain you. You cannot take a permanent job, neither do you have access to public funds. Now I'm going to give you a list of licensed sponsors who are currently offering sponsorships for people to come into the UK on this particular visa.
So first and foremost, you go to gov.uk website, and this is the list of licensed sponsors. As you can see, you download this to give you a long list of different sponsorships and then how to apply for them. However, we just want that of the charity worker visa, so we're going to filter that so that we can have just the list for charity worker visa. Currently, 1,318 sponsors are available to employ people. As you can see from the list, we've got jobs in London, Birmingham, Aberdeen, Stockport, Glasgow, a lot of places. So you can click on the companies individually, research about them, contact them, see what their plans are or their relocation packages and everything is. And if you think it's favorable, then you apply. Ask to make sure they are going to give you COS. Then you make your plans towards your relocation.
In as much as this is a charity worker visa, which means you are going to be working without pay, it's really good because they are going to give you
stipends,
sustain you, and then they are going to give you free accommodation where you can stay with your dependents as well. So I think this is pretty good because your dependent is going to be working, you are going to be working, and then you can stay in the UK for as long as you want. So I think this is a very good pathway for anybody who is trying to look for other options if they've run out of their main options. So this is the video I've decided to make. Kindly consider subscribing because I'm going to be bringing more exciting and informative videos your way which you wouldn't want to miss. So thank you for sticking around, and I hope you have gotten value from this video. And until my next video, stay awesome. Bye.